The Western Flyer from Steinbeck's Sea of Cortez returns to the Gulf of California after 85 years. This is from the Californian and it was published on the 13th of March 2025. A fishing vessel that was built during Monterey Bay's sardine boom and made famous by Nobel Prize winning author will return to the site of her former glory after 85 years. The Western Flyer, a state-of-the-art purse-seiner when it was built in 1937, was chartered by John Steinbeck for a 6-week expedition that was immortalized in the Sea of Cortez, a legendary journal of travel and research. Fully renovated to its original specifications and updated with cutting-edge technology, including a hybrid diesel-electric engine and a science lab, the Western Flyer will return to the Gulf of California and retrace Steinbeck's groundbreaking journey of discovery. The 3-month excursion will begin with a send-off on March the 16th at the Old Fisherman's Wharf in Monterey. From there, the Western Flyer and its 4-person crew and rotating team of scientists, conservationists, educators, and storytellers will sail down the coast of California into Mexico, stopping at places along the way, each destination hosting a program of activities and public tours. After crossing the border, programs in Mexico start in Ensenada, where they are partnering with a local science museum. When Steinbeck and Reckitt set off on their 4,000-mile journey in 1940, it was to collect and catalog intertidal fauna of the region. They would bring back thousands of specimens comprising 24 collections from 21 locations, all but one was in the Gulf of California. On the Western Flyer's return voyage to the Gulf, scientists and students will use sophisticated equipment on the vessel to study the Gulf's rich ecosystem and conduct research. The Western Flyer's return to the Gulf of California is a accumulation of a long and twisted journey, spanning multiple states, a period when she was largely forgotten, and a couple of sinkings. After Steinbeck's and Reckitt's legendary journey, the Western Flyer returned to Monterey to fish for sardines until the local industry collapsed in 1947. It continued to be used for commercial fishing in the Pacific Ocean from Oregon all the way up to British Columbia. In the 1960s, the vessel was converted into a crab fishing boat. She was also used in Alaska as a survey boat. After that, she sat largely abandoned and forgotten in Washington state. Well moored up in Anacortes, Washington, the boat that had sailed from Alaska to Baja California was now streaked with rust, and the deck was covered with blue tarps. A rupture in the hull sank it, and it was refloated after 2 weeks. It sank again not long after and remained submerged for 6 months. In 2023, the vessel had its name back and underwent a complete and painstakingly done restoration, with the addition of what would have thrilled Steinbeck and Reckitt. The old fish hold was made into an onboard laboratory with a broad wooden table running down the center of it. The Western Flyer had been docked at the Moss Landing Harbor, where it embarks on test runs across Monterey Bay. She will receive final touch-ups before she sets sail on her historic journey later this week. Along with making her seaworthy, another goal of the vessel's restoration was to create a floating classroom to teach marine science. They documented the entire rebuild of this vessel. It's all on YouTube. I'll put the link in the video description. I watched it as it was happening 3 years ago or something. It's really interesting. Some of these videos, they explain a lot about the joinery, the different kinds of wood used and stuff like that. There's some videos on her history and all of that as well. But for me, the woodworking part was very interesting. I'll put the link in the video description. Another note, I don't know where I read this at before, a long time ago, but when she was a crab fishing boat in the early days of the Alaska king crab, Sig Hansen's father, Sverre Hansen, was the deckhand on the Western Flyer, which I think is pretty cool. She looks brand new. Why they went about rebuilding instead of building a replica would have been a whole lot faster. a whole lot cheaper to build a new one, but I guess it wouldn't be the original Western Flyer anymore if they did it that way. She would be a replica. She's a beautiful boat. Can't say I like the wheelhouse windows, but the rest of her, she was a beautiful boat in her time, that's for sure. Very cool that she's being used once again. It'd be an awesome trip. I'd love to do a tour over, that's for sure. That fish hold is very unique now. It looks amazing. Alright guys, there it is. As always, thanks for watching. If you're new here and you like these kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you on the next one.